Ingat Angat Facebook page. Before we formally begin, let me start with a few reminders on our house rules for a smooth and uninterrupted program. For our guests who are joining us via Zoom, audio and video functions are disabled. For our media guests, please use the Zoom chat function to submit any questions throughout the program. Kindly add your name and your media affiliation so we can address your question properly. Our organizers will collate the questions and we will try to answer all of them during the Q&A segment at the end of the program. Please be advised that this program is being live, recorded and live streamed on Facebook. With that, let me acknowledge our distinguished guests who all made time for today's program. Secretary Carlito Galvez is the Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19. Secretary Vince Dizon, the Deputy Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19, and Dr. Manuel Dayrit, former Secretary of Health. We also acknowledge the presence of various enablers, partners, and organizers of this campaign, and our dear supporters from the media attending online to witness this launch. Ipagpatuloy ang ating pag-iingat at lahat tayo ay muling aangat kung may bakuna lahat. Vaccination is a crucial step to the full recovery of the Philippine economy and our return to normalcy. This is why today we will all bear witness to the massive private sector participation, commitment, and collaboration in supporting the government in its national vaccination drive. I'm very excited, and I'm going to start soon because otherwise I'll tell you more than I should be telling you. We're going to go through the speakers now. Secretary Galvez will speak via recorded message later on in the program. Our first speaker then will be Bill Luz. He's the Chief Resilience Officer at Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation. We've all heard about Task Force T3. That's Test, Trace, and Treat. Many of us still don't know fully or fully understand what it is and what it does. To give us an introduction to Task Force T3, let me call in Bill and how T3 powers up the Ingat Angat campaign. Bill?
Thank you, and thank you, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Coco. It's my pleasure to introduce Task Force T3. It's a public-private sector partnership with the National Task Force and the IATF. Next slide will show you that we are a large consortium of companies in the private sector, including private hospitals and various media groups. We work together with IATF and the National Task Force as far as the COVID response across test, trace, and treat, and now into vaccines and into other component programs. So our goal has been to build a stronger, better, more resilient Philippines. And our ultimate objective is to restart the Philippine economy by building consumer confidence across all the spectrum of test, trace, treat, and vaccines. So in our area of the vaccine consortium, which we created last year, later in the year, around third quarter, fourth quarter, we focused on four key aspects: procurement, communication, distribution, and data. And we parceled ourselves out across each of these tasks. So in procurement, let me just illustrate some of the work that we have done. We've been key partners with the government and the vaccine manufacturers in the tripartite agreements among a large cross-section of the private sector, including LGUs, and then the vaccine manufacturers. And two big programs have been the Dose of Hope program with Go Negocio, and this has focused on AstraZeneca. And through the ICTSI Foundation, there's been a separate consortium working on the Moderna tripartite agreement and procurement. We've also engaged a lot in the communication program, and today's activity is part of that communication program to build up vaccine confidence and to address issues in vaccine hesitancy. Our goal, again, is a healthy Pilipinas. We want to build consumer confidence to restart the economy, and we want to ensure public uptake of the COVID vaccine. There are two parts of this program. One of them is principally headed by Department of Health and the PCOO, the Res Pacuna program, and then the private sector program, which you are going to listen to more today, is the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat program. This has been brought to you by a large, again, a consortium of public sponsors shown on the next screen. The companies who have supported uh, the creation of the campaign and the actual rollout of this particular communications campaign. And we'd like to thank our corporate partners as well as our media partners for putting this together. We're also working very closely with medical associations, so shown on the next screen, the Philippine Medical Association and the Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. Both are critical partners because we count on them for their medical advice and expertise. So today you will see some of the programs that we have rolled out or will be rolling out. We have started already with a program uh, on Zoom and on Facebook Live called Bakuna Benefits Live in partnership with PDRF, the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, and MMDA, Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, headed by Chairman Ben Avalos. And this program features the Metro Manila mayors talking about the vaccine rollouts in their respective cities. And since LGUs are the frontliners where the vaccinations take place, we thought it was important for the mayors to be able to explain in detail how their vaccine rollout plans work in their respective cities, and for citizens and workers in those cities to find out more how they can get registered and vaccinated in any city in NCR, and then later on it'll encourage people to find out what's happening in LGUs around the country. Uh, this has been presented, as I said, by MMDA, Task Force T3, and PDRF. We've started the first season. It rolls on every Tuesday and Thursday night, 6 to 8 p.m. And we will be featuring these mayors. So we've already finished a number of episodes already. Uh, and we will be moving on to the rest of the schedule. We did not run a program last night due to the holiday, but we will be continuing starting May 18th and 20th, 25th, and 27th. And we will have these remaining LGUs presented 6 to 8 p.m. Every Tuesday, Thursday night. The other area that we are heavily involved in is in the distribution and administration of the vaccines. And here we work closely with our private sector cold chain partners, Unilab and Zwillig Pharma, uh, counting on their advice and also their expertise and their logistics network to be able to move the vaccines both for private sector and public sector across the country. Finally, I'd like to focus on data. This is the aspect that's maybe least understood by the public, but it's an area that we have heavily invested our time and resources in. And part of this includes the private sector registration and tracking apps. I'll show two examples here. The AC Health app, which is called Health Now, and the Zwillig Pharma app or EasyVax. Uh, Apps like this help record all the private sector vaccinees and vaccinations that need to be done, and also help track supplies as they move end to end along the supply chain. But aside from that, since last year, before the vaccination program started, we've been working on the private sector dashboard together with Thinking Machines in support with support from Philinvest and UNDP. And on a daily basis, this dashboard is produced for DOH, the NTF, the IATF to read, which allows us to track all the data on testing, on cases, on hospitalization, facilities, occupancy rates across the country down to an LGU level. So these are just some of the programs that we all work on in T3. We continue to uh, expand our consortium of private sector companies and private sector hospitals to help in this program because we feel that together we're going to be able to manage this pandemic and reopen the economy, which is our ultimate objective. So thank you very much for allowing me to introduce Task Force T3.
Thanks very much, Bill, for that intro to T3. As Bill pointed out there, is it now a 13-month program, Bill, or 14? Are you counting?
14, yeah, about 14 months. We started in April of last year, and it's been nonstop throughout the year.
And at the beginning, you didn't know it would become like this, right? No one did.
No one did, but we were prepared to do what it takes.
Right, and that helped with a lot of the regulations and measures that are put in place. Now, with safety protocols and guidelines in place in practically every establishment you go to, and as Filipinos become more accustomed and disciplined to follow these safety protocols, we're on our way to jump-starting our consumption-driven economy and getting back our lives. Today, following these protocols and guidelines, the next stage, ongoing already, is vaccination. Before we dive into that, let's first look into the roots of the Ingat Angat campaign and how it has now evolved into the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign. To officially launch Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat, let me introduce the Managing Director of McDonald's Philippines, Margo Torres. Margo?
Thank you, Coco. Magandang umaga sa mga kaibigan natin sa media at ang aking fellow vaccinees. I'm very proud because I already got my second dose of Sinovac just last Wednesday. Sana nagpabakuna na rin kayo o magpabakuna na rin kayo. I'd like to acknowledge first the presence of our partners from government. You will hear later on the recording of Secretary Charlie Galvez as well as Secretary Vince for his closing remarks. The Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign you will see today is the result of the collaboration of many private sector companies. They have all generously either contributed funds or their expertise, their talent and time to support our country's national vaccination program. Since we first launched the Ingat Angat Tayong Lahat in 2020, there is one thing that resonated about the campaign, and that is the unity of the private sector. It was an unprecedented collaboration of multiple companies, even competing brands, who have set aside their differences for the future of our country. Again, we see this unified and meaningful intent from the private sector. Furthermore, the private sector continues its partnership with government behind this national vaccination program. Our goal is a healthy Pilipinas. From the same playbook of building vaccine confidence, this campaign works hand in hand with DOH's Res Bakuna campaign, which targets the mass market segment distinct from Ingat Angat's socio-eco-class market of the ABC. I would like to express my immense gratitude to our Ingat Angat 2021 team for working tirelessly on this campaign. They have generously contributed their time and talent. Wonderman Thompson, our creative partners, headed by Golda Roldan, their CEO. Mindshare and the Omnicom Media Group, our media partners. Ion, our PR partner, led by Richard Arboleda. Cobina and PSRC, our analytics partners. And Pabrika Slingshot and Hit Productions for production. Thank you to our generous sponsors, all 14 brands. They have donated funds to finance the production for both video and audio materials and for digital amplification. Thank you also to our media partners. They continue to help us with airtime and make sure that this message reaches the Filipinos. Itbulaga, Facebook, GMA Network, Kapamilya Channel, KBP with all its 200 stations nationwide, the Outdoor Advertising Association of the Philippines or OAAP, Share It, which is a new sharing app, TV5, and Viber. To strengthen the credibility of the message, you heard Bill mention that we are also working with the Philippine Medical Association, the premier medical organization representing the medical profession, and the Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Diseases, or PSMID, whose specialization is extremely relevant to the COVID situation. They are there to make sure that all our communication is science-based. Allow me first to share a few constructs coming from the Boston Consulting Group, who is also our partners. Based on this, there is a trifecta of factors that have to be considered in developing the plan. The first is supply, and you will hear later on from Sec Charlie an update on this. The second is throughput. This means that once the supply arrives, the job rate per day is critical and it comes into play. But the third is demand. And you will not be able to hit a certain job rate on throughput without the willingness of the people to get vaccinated. And that's where the campaign comes in. Of course, communication and coordination through the National Task Force and with the help of DICT and SGV, we're able to enable this whole process end to end with technology and gather the data. With the support of our partners from PSRC, we've collated global surveys like Gallup and WIN, and then national surveys like SWS and Pulse. In 2020, you are seeing across all of these surveys a top box score or the willingness at 30%. But in 2021, so far, only Pulse has updated their survey last February, and this willingness number has declined. And that is quite an alarming number. That's why the role of communication is very critical to build confidence and generate demand. Based on these willingness surveys, we have been guided by 3 vaccination mindsets, and we can move to that next slide, in terms of messaging. You have 3. One is the enthusiastic. Ready na ako, pipila na ako sa vaccination center, give me my jab. You have the undecided. Medyo hindi pa sila sigurado, wait and see, titignan muna kung ano nangyayari sa mga kaibigan nila, kung okay bang magpabakuna. We call them fence-sitters. And of course, yung talagang vaccine rejectors or those with an averse mindset. Let's move to another construct, again from the Boston Consulting Group. There are 3 phases to consider with the rollout. In the next slide, you will see the first phase is supply-driven. In this phase, we find ourselves in maybe last March when we started our rollout until about early May. And then the next phase is throughput-driven, and this assumes there is sufficient vaccine supply. You will hear from Sec Charlie that we are already moving into that stage. And the efficiency, therefore, at the vaccination centers are critical to drive the job rate. And the third phase is demand generation. When you have a healthy supply but you do not have enough vaccines, it will result to an oversupply of doses, and that's why it is necessary to boost demand generation again. So why am I sharing this S-curve? It is critical for us to understand that as we develop an agile media strategy. Although it says demand generation in the S-curve happens in the third phase, given that the vaccine confidence is low, we will already invest in media to build the momentum. We need to drown out anti-vaccination noise with positive messages. And once we reach the phase of being throughput-driven, you have enough supply, we will sustain our media levels. And again, we will have another boost in media towards the end, most likely at the end of the year, to make sure that we're able to maximize the supply that we have and again, boost demand generation. As you can see, our media partners have provided significant airtime to ensure a robust media plan across multimedia. Maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong tulong. Now let's move to the thinking behind the campaign. Coming from the longest lockdown and feeling restrained in 2020, maybe up to today, Filipinos want to feel more optimistic that things can change. We continue to practice using masks, shields, washing hands, and maintaining distance, but we also need to have the feeling of being reassured that we can prevent the virus from infecting us. So after this extremely long lockdown, there is one feeling common among consumers. That is the feeling of longing for peace of mind, longing to be with our loved ones again, longing to go back to the things we miss, and much more. The consumer insight then is when we feel there is little else we can do, there is hope that the vaccine is on its way, and this drives us to anticipate the happiness we can slowly come back to. The role of communication is to move Filipinos from a state of learned helplessness to a state where they will want to get the vaccine now because this is added vigilant protection to feel reassured that they can eventually venture out of their homes and do what they need to do. Our key message, ngayon na may karagdagang proteksyon mula sa bakuna, ang pagbabalik natin sa inaasam nating buhay ay mas malapit na nating mararanasan. Bakuna para sa dagdag ingat, angat tayong lahat. When there is longing, there is also hope. Hope is what drives every single one of us to carry on. Hope is what reassures us that this lockdown is not permanent. Things will get better. And more so now with the additional help in the form of the vaccines. This is what Ingat, Angat, Bakuna Lahat is all about. It is about reminding people that vaccines will allow them to slowly go back to the life that they missed. We developed a manifesto based on the consumer research and the communication strategy. I will not read this manifesto today. Instead, I will show you the films. But before I do that, I wanted to thank the creative geniuses of Brandy Tan and Maan Bautista of Wonderman Thompson. And I also want to thank all our sponsors. They all agreed to take a backseat in this film and prioritize the message to build vaccine confidence. What was of paramount importance in developing the campaign was the message we need to deliver to convince our fellow Filipinos to get vaccinated. The emotions we elicit from the story was critical. So I asked everybody to look at the entire narrative. In the film, Bakit Ka Nag-iingat? We wanted to get to know the reasons why Filipinos have gotten or would want to get vaccinated. Every scene in the film is guided by research and social listening. As you'll see, each reason is very personal, something you can all relate to, and it is something we all long for. Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat hopes to inspire Filipinos to get their jab, as this is our shot at getting back the life we long for. We will first show you our 45-seconder. So the 45-seconder will be on media, on online media. We will post this in our Facebook Ingat Angat page and our Ingat Angat YouTube site. Please feel free to repost. We also have a 30-seconder for broadcast television. And this is our edit down. And we want to thank the genius also behind Direct Joel Limchok of Pabrika. and our producer, Steve Vesagas of Slingshot, as well as Hit Productions for the very moving soundtrack. So medyo baka nawala yung audio kanina. So let's play the 30s para marinig nyo ng buo.
Para sa dagdag na ingat pa, magpabakuna. Ingat-angat, bakuna lahat.
We also have 6s, and this is again for YouTube, that will feature the Lola and the Mom. So let's please play them both. So there you have it. But again, that's just the video. Radio will also play an important role in getting the message across and inspiring Filipinos. This time, we are highlighting the necessity to stay vigilant. Mask, hugas, iwas. And of course, to get vaccinated. Salamat po sa KBP at sa lahat ng 200 stations who have committed to air these materials 4 times a day per station. Can we play radio, please?
Sa bakunang parating, aangat ang pag-asa. Malalabanan ng pandemya. Aangat rin ng kumpiyansa. Pag nagmask, hugas, at iwas pa, mababawasan na ang kaba. Sa iyong pagpapabakuna, maiingatan ang sarili at ang kapwa. Pag nagpapakuna, ingat-angat tayong lahat. Ingat-angat, bakuna lahat. A message from PMA, PSMID, and Kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
So because it's a multimedia campaign, we also have social cards. Here you will see the many reasons from fellow Filipinos why added protection through the vaccine is important. We've added proper ventilation, if you'll notice at the bottom of the cards, as the minimum health protocol. Idadagdag po natin yan sa ibang materials kapag we have the opportunity to do so. Also, we encourage all sponsors, all of you, to please share these cards on your social media pages, on your Viber, whatever you want to do para talagang mataas natin ang vaccine confidence. So we also have out of home, and you will see this thanks to the 45 properties provided by the OAAP. And again, you're going to see the messages kung bakit kailangan tayo mag-ingat at magpabakuna. Hindi lang ho yan. There's more. We are moving on now to the campaign's activations. In our Ingat Angat platforms for Facebook and the Viber community, we encourage you to join. We have actually created content to bust myths. Bakuna busters is what we call it. And it's also here to address fake news. With the help of the PSMID, we are able to ensure that what we say is vetted by the medical experts. Moving on. Benefits Live is produced by George Royeca and his team from G5. Abangan nyo po sa May 18, ang feature po natin si Mayor Joy Belmonte, Mayor Jimmy Fresnedi at Mayor Oka Malapitan. At meron po tayong special episode sa June 1. It is a medical episode that will feature Doc Edsel Salvana of PSMID, Doc Ana Ong Lim from PGH, and Doc Bev Ho of DOH. So, para sa consumer naman, we have a consumer incentive called Bakuna Benefits or Smart Bakuna Benefits. We have over 130 restaurant brands that will provide discounts starting June 1 up to November 30. Maraming salamat din sa Resto PH where many of their members have participated. By mid-September, we will extend the program to other retail outlets. Smart Bakuna Benefits, very, very simple mechanic. Show your vaccination card to any of the participating restaurants and then avail of the discount offered. Smart Communications, beyond its donation to the main campaign, is also supporting this. They provided us with properties on out-of-home, even the one along EDSA, that's about 18,000 spots, additional spots on TV5, NBA.com, and of course a text blast to the smart subscriber base. Lastly, we also have a Bakuna Sikat page on Instagram. Kapag nagbukas na po sa general public ang priority sectors, we will feature personalities and influencers who have gotten their job. You have now seen the different elements of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign. Each one addresses any of these three objectives, if not all. Build confidence, sustain the momentum, and of course, ensure completion of the second dose. This is now a snapshot of the calendar. So we are about to begin the first phase of the campaign starting mid-May, that is today. And we are preparing for the phase where we need to boost demand again. And that's probably going to happen in Q3 and we will have a new set of materials by that time. As always, Ingat Angat campaign is designed to be inclusive. Kahit po hindi kayo kasama dun sa 14 sponsors at maliit lang ang inyong kumpanya, ang pwede nyong gawin is to visit ingat-angat.com. All the visual assets are there. You can use it, you can repurpose it, put your company logo, and you will find even a toolkit on the site for your own company's internal communications to help you build vaccine confidence among your employees. Please continue to follow our Facebook page, Ingat Angat, and join the Viber community so you receive updates on Bakuna Benefits Live, who is the next episode, who are we gonna feature, and so you know the discounts of Smart Bakuna Benefits starting June 1. Maraming salamat po. Our heartfelt gratitude to all for being part of this initiative, one that truly makes a difference for our country and of course the Filipino people. This is our one shot at getting back the life we long for. Thank you, Coco.
Thanks very much, Margo, for that presentation, for organizing all the media resources that and allies that put those campaigns together, and of course for helping to assemble all the corporates behind it. We're very proud to have the continuous support of some of the biggest companies and brands in the country. From various industries, they have partnered with us to see through the success of this campaign. Some or many of them are here today, some live and some pre-recorded. Allow us to call on them one by one to share some of their thoughts regarding this campaign. First, we're going to go to Nestor Tan. He's President and CEO at BDO. He comes to us via recording.
Good morning. I am Nestor Tan, President and Chief Executive Officer of BDO Unibank. BDO is honored to be part of today's launch. When we were initially invited to be a partner of Ingat Angat Tayong Lahat last year, we did not hesitate. Working together with the government agencies, the media, and other private companies, we helped raise awareness on how we can all protect ourselves and the people around us. The next phase is upon us today. BDO is once again a proud partner of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat program. We support T3's drive to increase awareness on the importance of getting vaccinated, to help build confidence in the vaccination programs, and to get as many people inoculated at the soonest possible time. Like you, we want to contribute to putting an end to the COVID-19 pandemic, not only to protect lives and livelihoods, but enable our economic recovery as well. Let us all take that big step. BDO remains committed to helping the country's effort to protect your health, so we can continue to work together to rebuild, restart, and renew lives as a nation. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.
Our next message comes from Cebu Pacific, represented by Candice Iyog, Vice President, Marketing and Consumer Experience, also a recording.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Candice Iyog, VP for Marketing and Customer Experience of Cebu Pacific Air. Thank you for having me today. We are happy to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We support T3's programs to help reduce vaccine hesitancy and strengthen willingness amongst our fellow Filipinos. We believe that by getting more people vaccinated at the soonest possible time, we can help put an end to this pandemic and restart our economic recovery. We are committed to continuously working and partnering on initiatives that will help us recover together. We are in solidarity with the government and the private sector in reviving the economy safely to protect the lives, the jobs, and the livelihood of fellow Filipinos. We are grateful and honored to be partners with the government, the different brands, agencies, and media who work together to make this happen. I believe that it is through our collective effort and our resilience as a nation that we can build confidence in the national vaccine program and rebuild the economy safely.
We'll hear next from Food Panda, represented by Daniel Marogi. He's Managing Director there. Daniel?
Thanks, Coco. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dan Marogi, Managing Director of Food Panda. So I'd like to thank you for having me today. We're very, very happy to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We support T3's programs to help reduce vaccine hesitancy in the Philippine population. And we believe that by getting more people vaccinated at the soonest possible time, we can help put an end to this pandemic and restart our economic recovery. So we're committed to continuously working and partnering on initiatives that will help us recover together. We are together with the government and the private sector in reviving the economy safely to protect the lives, the jobs, and of course the livelihoods of our fellow Filipinos. We're grateful and honored to be partners with the government, all the different brands, agencies, and media who will work together to make this happen. I believe that it's through our collective effort that we can build confidence in the national vaccine program and rebuild the economy safely. Thank you and good morning.
Next, we hear from Globe Telecom, represented by Isa Guevara Cabrera, Chief Commercial Officer, also a recording.
Good morning, everyone. I am Isa Guevara Cabrera, Chief Commercial Officer of Globe Telecom. I'm happy to represent Globe as a part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. This pandemic has pushed all of us to be better for our customers, knowing the challenges that our fellow Filipinos face and how connectivity has become a lifeline in this time. We at Globe have continuously worked to strengthen our network and provide products and services that are life-enabling and life-sustaining. Customer centricity is at the heart of our efforts, and we are going beyond our core services to provide products that Filipinos need at this point, like Consulta MD, G-Insure, G-Credit. We are committed to bringing more innovations that will empower each and every Filipino and allow us to combat this crisis together. It is in this light that we are supporting the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign. We commend T3's programs encouraging Filipinos to get vaccinated against COVID-19 so we can reopen our economy and be on our way to recovery. We are one with the government and other private institutions in supporting the national vaccine program and the Filipino spirit of bayanihan. Our collective efforts will set us on our journey to recovery. Thank you very much, and may we all stay safe.
We hear next from Goldilocks, represented by Jeneline Ostero, Vice President, Marketing. Jeneline?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Jeneline Ostero, and I'm the Vice President for Marketing of Goldilocks Bake Shop. Thank you for having me today. We are happy to have been part of the Ingat Angat initiative in 2020, and we are honored to take part again in this Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We support T3's programs to help reduce vaccine hesitancy and strengthen willingness amongst our fellow Filipinos. We believe that by getting more people vaccinated at the soonest possible time, we can help put an end to this pandemic and restart our economic recovery. We are committed in continuously working and partnering on initiatives that will help us recover together. We are in solidarity with the government, the private sector in reviving the economy safely to protect the lives, the jobs, and the livelihood of our fellow Filipinos. We are grateful and honored to be partners with the government, the different brands, agencies, and media who work together to make this happen. I believe that it is through our collective effort and our resilience as a nation that we can build confidence in the national vaccine program and rebuild the economy safely. Thank you.
The next partner we're going to hear from is Jollibee Foods, represented by Pepot Miñana, Chief Sustainability and Public Affairs Officer. Pepot?
Thank you, Coco. Good morning, everyone. We in the Jollibee Group are fully committed and one with everyone here to join hands with both the public and the private sector for this initiative dahil napakahalaga po talaga ng bakuna. Ito na po ang solusyon na hinihintay natin. Magpabakuna na tayong lahat para sa ating sarili, para sa ating pamilya, para sa ating komunidad, at siyempre, para sa ating bayan. Ako po mismo, nagpabakuna na. At iba talagang feeling namin mag-asawa because now we know we are protected with the vaccines. Idagdag pa natin na pag fully open na po yung ating economy, siyempre, there will be more jobs and better livelihoods for everyone. Ang lahat na ito ay isang malaking hamon. But we, in the Jollibee Group, remain optimistic and very hopeful that when we work together, sigurado ito, we will all have a better Christmas this year. Maraming salamat po.
Thanks very much, Pepot. Following Jollibee, but only alphabetically, is McDonald's Philippines, represented by Ken Yang, their President and CEO. Ken?
Thanks, Coco. Good morning to all our partners from government, private sector, and the different organizations, and of course, media. On behalf of McDonald's Philippines, I'm here today to express our support for the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. So McDonald's safety is always an integral part of our operating culture, and it will always be. We're grounded on the principle then that if we keep our people safe, then our customers will also be safe. It's really demonstrated through our MSafe program. The health and safety of our people has always been a top priority, and we continue to provide RT-PCR testing, care kits, and strictly implement safety protocols in our restaurants to ensure a safe workplace for our employees and a safe McDonald's experience for all our customers, and in support of the government's vaccination program. We have also shared our commitment to vaccinate our employees for free. I laud Task Force T3 and its members for being generous with their time and expertise to lead initiatives like Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat. Know that the work you're doing is making a difference. And I encourage more members of the private sector to join Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat. You can count on McDonald's Philippines to continuously support Task Force T3 and its initiatives as we work together in our fight against COVID-19. Maraming salamat, and as we say in McDonald's, stay safe always.
Thanks very much, Ken. Next partner we're going to hear from is Mega World Corp, represented by Graham Coates. He's First Vice President and Division Head, Mega World Lifestyle Malls. Graham?
Thank you, Coco. Good morning, everyone. I'm Graham Coates, Head of Mega World Lifestyle Malls. On behalf of Mega World Lifestyle Malls, we would like to express gratitude for the opportunity to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. It is a genuine pleasure to be working alongside the national government and our peers in this private sector in this collaborative effort to revive the economy safely and to protect the lives and the livelihoods of our fellow Filipinos. We strongly believe that vaccination is the first key step towards reopening the economy, securing the jobs of our countrymen and paving the way for our country's full recovery. It is therefore very crucial that we take this concerted action to ensure the success of the whole national vaccination program. This can be achieved by increasing vaccine confidence and further accelerating the pace of the vaccination rollout, which are among the main thrusts of the Task Force T3. Mega World Lifestyle Malls, through our 20 mall properties, pledges our full support and commitment to the programs of Task Force T3. As we also look to ensure the safety of our mall frontliners so we can safely continue giving happiness and meaningful connections to our valued customers. We are committed to playing a more active role, and we look forward to working together with the government and the business community towards achieving our collective goal of vaccinating as many people as possible in the soonest possible time. Thank you very much and have a great day ahead.
Thanks very much, Graham. Our next partner is Victor Paterno, President and Chief Executive Officer at Philippine 7 Corp. Victor? You're on mute, Victor.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Victor Paterno, Chief Executive and President of Philippine 7 Corp. Philippines happy to be part of this laudable effort of T3. We hope everyone thinks the same way we do, that vaccination is good for everybody. We were part, along with many here, of the first wave purchases of vaccines where we bought enough for our entire company. And like many of them, donated that much to the country. That's how much we believe in it. Personally, I'm not yet vaccinated. I wish I was, but I'm not A1 to A3. And I can't wait. So I think, will tell you there's risks, small, but there is. But do it for yourself, because the risk of COVID is bigger. Do it for your friends, so you don't infect them. Do it for your Lola. Do it for your friend's Lola. And most importantly, do it for your country. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Victor. The next partner is Al Pandillo. He is the PLDT Chief Revenue Officer and Smart President and Chief Executive Officer. He comes to us via recording.
The World Health Organization has referred to the global vaccine rollout as a historic test of global cooperation, noting that none of us is safe until everyone is. Our own national vaccine rollout is no different. We're seeing a unique level of cooperation between different sectors of our society to make the vaccine available for every Filipino. It is a privilege to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative, which brings together businesses, agencies, media, and the government for the concerted effort to simplify and accelerate our vaccination rollout. Our full support for this noble initiative stems out of our commitment to serve our fellow Filipinos. Getting vaccinated is one way to live smarter for a better world. And we believe that the sooner we get this done, the more lives we'll be able to save and the quicker.
Did we lose Al? Okay. I think we lost Al. The next partner we'll hear from is SM Supermalls, represented by John San Agustin, Senior Vice President, Marketing. John?
Thank you, Coco. Good morning, everyone. I'm John San Agustin, Senior Vice President for Marketing of the SM Supermalls. Thank you again for having us as a proud partner of Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. It is an honor for us to share that the 76-strong SM Supermalls nationwide shall continue to provide support to T3's new program to help reduce hesitancy and to strengthen willingness amongst our Filipinos. To further educate our people on the vaccine's facts and benefits, and to be able to reach out and encourage everyone to participate, we are glad to share that we have close to 300 digital screens in our malls that will be displaying the various campaign materials. Moreover, we will share the message to our 30 million strong followers on social media and also utilize our 16 million direct marketing assets. Furthermore, we will integrate this in our already established Safe Malling at SM campaign to further strengthen the need to keep the public aware. SM Supermalls will stay true to its commitment to continuously work and partner with the government and the private sector on initiatives that will help us recover together. Thank you very much, and to all, please stay safe.
The next partner is Unilab Inc., represented by Alexander Pandillo, Corporate Vice President. Alex?
Morning, Coco. Morning, everyone. I'm Alex Panlilio, Unilab Corporate Vice President. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me here today. It is a great privilege for Unilab to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We actually applaud T3 for this noble program that aims to strengthen the willingness of our fellow Filipinos to vaccinate. As a healthcare company, we rally behind this movement to promote and achieve immunity and protection from COVID-19 for as many Filipinos as possible at the soonest time possible. We stand united with the government, the healthcare providers, our hospital and industry partners who are working together to make this happen. Ang alagang Pilipino ay alagang nagkakaisa para sa bayan, alagang may husay at malasakit. In the spirit of bayanihan, we commit to doing everything we can to help our country bounce back from the pandemic, rebuild our nation's economy, and most importantly, continuously build a stronger and healthier Philippines. Thank you, Coco.
Thanks, Alex. The next partner is Zwillig Pharma, represented by Ray Azurin, Senior Vice President, Corporate Affairs. Ray?
Hi, thanks very much, Coco, and good morning, everyone. I'm Ray Azurin, the Senior Vice President for Corporate Affairs for Zwillig Pharma Asia Pacific. And I really want to thank you for having me today. We at Zwillig Pharma are really so happy to be part of this Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. Zwillig Pharma fully supports T3's programs to help reduce vaccine hesitancy and strengthen the willingness amongst our fellow Filipinos. Today, Zwillig Pharma continues to build our capabilities in order to support the government's thrust into vaccination, preparing quality, handling, and storage of these precious vaccines. We believe that by getting more people vaccinated at the soonest possible time, we can not only protect our families, our loved ones, our employees, but we can help put an end to this pandemic and restart our economic recovery. We are very committed to continuously working and partnering on initiatives that will help us recover together. And in solidarity with the government and the private sector, in reviving the economy safely to protect the lives, the jobs, and the livelihood of our fellow Filipinos. We at Zwillig Pharma are grateful, privileged, and honored to be partners with government, the different brands and agencies, and the media who work together to make this thing happen. We also share everyone's belief that through collective effort, our resilience as a nation, that we could build confidence in the national vaccine program and rebuild and re-energize our economy safely. Thank you, Coco.
Thanks very much, Ray. We'll return to Al Panlilio of PLDT Smart.
The World Health Organization has referred to the global vaccine rollout as a historic test of global cooperation, noting that none of us is safe until everyone is. Our own national vaccine rollout is no different. We're seeing a unique level of cooperation between different sectors of our society to make the vaccine available for every Filipino. It is a privilege to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative, which brings together businesses, agencies, media, and the government for the concerted effort to simplify and accelerate our vaccination rollout. Our full support for this noble initiative stems out of our commitment to serve our fellow Filipinos. Getting vaccinated is one way to live smarter for a better world. And we believe that the sooner we get this done, the more lives we'll be able to save and the quicker we can revive our economy and recover as a nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you again to all the corporate partners. Ingat Angat also is very lucky to have the support of media partners, and I'm going to call on 5 of them, beginning with the representative from GMA, Ms. Risa Garduque. She's vice president there. She has a recording.
Good morning. This is Risa Garduque of GMA Network. As a company that constantly strives to live by the word Serbisyong Totoo, we are truly honored to be part of this timely initiative. We strongly believe that it is through this bayanihan spirit of Serbisyong Totoo that each and every one of us can be part of the solution to help reduce vaccine hesitancy. On behalf of the network, I would like to take this opportunity to pledge GMA's support and commitment to the success of Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign. We are one with the organizers in leading the fight against COVID-19. Through our collaborative efforts, we can truly live out what it means to be a kapuso. Together, let us unite and take an active role in the road to our recovery as a nation. Thank you very much.
The next partner is Kapamilya Channel, represented by Mark Lopez, chairman, also recording.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mark Lopez, chairman of ABS-CBN. Thank you for having me today. We are happy to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We support T3's programs to help reduce vaccine hesitancy and strengthen willingness amongst our fellow Filipinos. We believe that by getting more people vaccinated at the soonest possible time, we can help put an end to this pandemic and restart our economic recovery. We are committed to continuously working and partnering on initiatives that will help us recover together. We are in solidarity with the government and the private sector in reviving the economy safely to protect the lives, the jobs, and the livelihood of our fellow Filipinos. We are grateful and honored to be partners with the government, the different brands, agencies, and media who work together to make this happen. I believe that it's through our collective effort and resilience as a nation that we can build confidence in the national vaccine program and rebuild the economy safely.
The next media partner is KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, represented by June McDowell. He has a recording.
Good morning, everyone. I'm June McDowell, chairman of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas. The KBP and its member networks and stations are pleased to be part of the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative. We have supported T3's program since October 2020 by providing airtime to the various advocacy plugs which remind everyone to practice health protocols in order to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19 and safely reopen the economy. With a focus on vaccination, the KBP renews its commitment in providing important information to help reduce vaccine hesitancy and hopefully contribute to ending the pandemic. We are honored to be part of this endeavor, and we are one with the government and the private sector in reviving the economy, providing jobs, and alleviating the condition of our fellow Filipinos, especially the most vulnerable members of our society. Thank you.
The next partner is Tate, represented by Jenny Ferre, Creative Head. Jenny? We'll move on to TV5, represented by Dino Laurena, his Chief Operating Officer. Dino?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Coco. Good morning, everyone. I am Dino Laurena, COO of Media5, the sales and marketing subsidiary of TV5 and Signal TV. On behalf of our broadcast group's management team and staff, I would like to thank T3 for making us part of this Ingat Angat Bakuna sa Lahat initiative. We fully support this program initiative that will hopefully reduce vaccine hesitancy and encourage our fellow Filipinos to have themselves vaccinated. This will surely help in curbing the effects of the pandemic and allow us to move towards economic recovery. We're privileged and honored to be working with government, the different brands involved in this campaign, as well as our colleagues in media who are all working together to succeed in the program's objective. Indeed, we live in different and challenged times. As odd as this parting message may sound, may I bid you all stay negative and let's get shot with the vaccine. Ingat, angat, magpabakuna at mabuhay tayong lahat. Magandang umaga po.
We'd like to acknowledge one more media partner, Facebook, in this initiative. And thank you to all the media partners. Last but not the least, we're also joined by a partner association, Resto PH, represented by Philip Moran, Vice President. Philip?
Thank you, Coco. Good morning, everyone. I'm Philip Moran, Vice President of the Restaurant Owners Association of the Philippines, or Resto PH. We are an organization of restaurant owners that was founded in April 2020, the start of the pandemic. We now have around 250 brands in our group, with roughly 1,200 doors and employing around 20,000 people. We represent the restaurant sector, one of the most badly affected by the pandemic, and we serve as one united voice to allow our concerns to be heard by various sectors of our country. We are one with T3 to support the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat initiative, a truly historical program where the private sector comes together as one, working closely with the government to encourage more people to get vaccinated, slowly and safely encourage consumers to come back, and bring our economy back on track. We are composed of a lot of smaller brands, but combined, we make one united voice and proudly tie in with the efforts of the T3 collaboration and government to have one resounding voice of recovery for our beloved Philippines. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you again to all the corporate partners and the media partners for their unwavering support for this cause. How important is fast-tracking the vaccine program rollout? What support do the private healthcare providers extend to the government? To give answers to these critical questions, please welcome former Health Secretary of the Philippine Department of Health, Dr. Manuel Dayrit. Dr. Manolet?
Thank you very much, Coco, and good morning to everyone. We're actually at a historical time in our fight against COVID-19. Vaccination is really our way out of all of this. And the faster and the quicker and the more coverage that we're able to do, the faster we'll be able to get out of this. So I'm here essentially to present a collaboration between private sector hospitals and the LGUs to give a booster to our immunization efforts. And therefore, if we could have the slides, I could show them. Okay, well, I can't see the slides from here. But anyway, let me say that there are 5 private hospital healthcare providers that are involved. That's AC Health, Metro Pacific, Mount Grace, St. Luke's Medical Center, and the Medical City. You know, these are 5 private hospital groups that have actually bannered healthcare, particularly for our COVID-19 patients. And therefore, we actually thank them for this initiative to work with the LGUs to augment their immunization efforts. This is the way it's going to work. These 5 private sector providers are going to set up 25 vaccination sites in NCR with a total of 48 teams in these sites. And they will aim to provide 5,000 total jabs every day for a total of 150,000 jabs over a period of 30 operating days. As you can see, this is a public-private partnership. And on the left, you will see the role of government. That's the NTF, the LGUs, and the Department of Health. And the public agencies are going to provide the vaccines, the ancillary supplies, the protective equipment, as well as the master lists of the people to be vaccinated. And on the right, these 5 private sector hospitals, which are members of T3, will provide venue and manpower to get these vaccinations going. In detail, you can see that these private healthcare providers have these responsibilities. They're going to accept the vaccines from national government, as well as from local government, of course. They're going to help store these vaccines. They're going to administer it. And of course, they're going to do post-vaccination adverse event surveillance. This will give you a detailed plan of where these 5 big providers are going to be working. And you can just look down the list on the 3rd column, the LGUs. The LGUs involved will be NCR plus 6. And therefore, that means the 17 cities and 1 municipality, the 16 cities and 1 municipality of NCR, as well as the 6 provinces around NCR. And that's Calabar, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, as well as Bulacan and Pampanga. Now, aside from these private hospitals, we also have large support from 2 of our big mall providers, which is Mega World and SM Supermalls. And Mega World and SM are going to provide a total of 52 additional vaccination sites in their malls. And you can see the list there for Mega World, 11 sites in different parts of Metro Manila and the provinces around Metro Manila. And you can see there also the 41 sites of SM. So in summary then, this is a big moment for us. Private sector is augmenting public efforts for vaccination program. A shout out to the national government and private sector for the procurement of vaccines. A shout out to Secretary Galvez for actually successfully closing the deals for the vaccines that are now going to be delivered. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Doc Manolet, especially for the reporters who are here. That's the big news for today, how the private sector is really helping the public sector with jabbing, with this program that Dr. Manolet has described to you. The commitment of Task Force T3 and the private sector for faster vaccine rollout is the key to achieving our goal of opening up the economy and ensuring that our workforce and customers are protected. We are very glad to have with us the representatives of the private sector hospitals and malls that have joined in the government's vaccination rollout. The private healthcare providers are offering their expertise and available capacity to national government and local government in NCR Plus to help accelerate the vaccination rollout to stem the rising number of COVID-19 cases in these priority areas, while the mall sites are offering their areas as additional vaccination sites. We're going to hear from the leaders of those hospital groups one by one. They've joined us here today. Allow me to call them in turn. First, representing AC Health is Fernando Zobel de Ayala, Chairman of the Board at AC Health. Fernando.
Good morning to everyone. I'm delighted to be here today for the launch of another milestone in our country's battle against COVID-19. At the Ayala Group, we've always believed that the best way to beat this pandemic is for the public and private sectors to work collaboratively. We have always been strong supporters of the National Vaccine Development Program and are glad to be here and be a part of the Ingat Angat initiative to support the vaccination rollout in the country. I am proud to introduce our participation through the leadership of the AC Health Group and in partnership with Ayala Corporation, Ayala Foundation, and Ayala Land. At AC Health, our vision has always been to bring accessible, affordable, quality healthcare to more Filipinos through our ecosystem of pharmacies, clinics, hospitals, and health technology solutions. We're happy to leverage this entire network in support of this initiative and our local LGU partners. As our contribution, we have made available 4 Healthway mega vaccination sites and 2 QualiMed healthcare facilities across Metro Manila and surrounding provinces as vaccine administration sites for our LGU partners. Through these 6 mega sites, we hope to complement public sector efforts to provide vaccinations at the requisite scale and speed. These sites are part of what will eventually be 24 mega sites nationwide, contributing a total capacity of 10,000 vaccinations per day. For this initiative, we commit to deploy a total of 18 teams across our 6 sites with a total capacity of 1,800 vaccinations per day. We have mobilized the full strength of AC Health, bringing together our health professionals from Healthway and QualiMed to provide the manpower needed for vaccine administration. We have also drawn support from our Ayala Land teams for site development and logistics support. I'm happy to share that we've already launched our vaccination sites in QualiMed hospitals in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. We also have Healthway vaccination sites in Taguig at Bonifacio High Street, Quezon City at UP Ayala Land Techno Hub, Parañaque at Ayala Malls Manila Bay, and Makati at Ayala Mall Circuit for the city's first vaccination drive-through site. To date, we have already vaccinated over 5,000 constituents across these sites. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our LGU partners, Taguig City led by Mayor Lino Cayetano, Quezon City led by Mayor Joy Belmonte, Parañaque City led by Mayor Edwin Olivares, Makati City led by Mayor Abby Binay, Santa Rosa Laguna led by Mayor Arlene Arcillas, and San Jose del Monte, Bulacan led by Mayor Arthur Robles. At the Ayala Group, it has always been our priority to work with the public sector, even more so in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're privileged to be part of this initiative. Please know that the Ayala Group will continue to support these efforts as we aim to vaccinate as many Filipinos as we can at the soonest possible time. It is also encouraging to see so many of our private sector partners supporting this initiative. Through our joint efforts, I am confident that we can save more lives, stem disease transmission, and accelerate recovery for our country. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Fernando. The next hospital network partner is Metro Pacific Hospitals. We're going to hear first via recording from Manny Pangilinan, followed by Jeff Staples, Group Chief Operating Officer.
Good day to all of you. Our Metro Pacific Hospitals Group is honored by this opportunity to help the government expedite its vaccination drive. We are genuine and steadfast partners with the national and local governments to help ensure the extensive and efficient rollout of the vaccines. Indeed, These vaccines offer us a measure of hope, a ray of light, a step closer to normalcy. We wish this effort, ingat-angat, bakuna lahat, well, and we are happy to be part of it as we help turn the pages of our nation's history back to normalcy. Thank you and all the best to you all.
Still with Metro Pacific Hospitals, Jeff Staples, Group Chief Operating Officer. Jeff?
Good morning. With 18 hospitals spread across the country, Metro Pacific is the Philippines' largest private hospital network. Since the start of the pandemic, Metro Pacific has performed more than 300,000 COVID tests, identified more than 51,000 positive cases, and we've admitted almost 7,000 COVID positive patients to our hospitals. To better serve you, our patients, we've implemented several innovative solutions, including virtual consultations, remote patient monitoring, e-pharmacy, and mobile laboratories. We've set up 5 MVP group vaccination megasites in the NCR and have opened a 300-bed emergency quarantine facility for MVP group employees. We've already vaccinated 87% of our hospital workers, ensuring that our hospitals are safe for our staff, for our patients, and our families. Having a nationwide network of hospitals allowed us to send volunteer nurses from our Mindanao hospitals to reinforce their sister hospitals in NCR amid the recent surge in cases. In addition to continuing to treat patients during the COVID surge, 2 of our premier hospitals have been able to commit dedicated resources to the Ingat-Angat partnership. One of the Philippines' premier hospitals, located in the heart of Makati, Makati Med, is known for world-class services and superior patient care. The premier hospital in the south of Manila, Asian Hospital, is renowned for its clinical centers of excellence and its commitment to patient safety and patient experience. Our Ingat-Angat commitment of 7 vaccination teams performing 21,000 jabs over 30 operating days in 2 of the largest NCR sites forms an integral part of our nationwide total vaccination capability. To close, we'd like to share a short video from our frontliners on the benefits of vaccination to our lives and how getting vaccinated will bring us closer to getting our lives back. Thank you and have a nice day. So there should be a video coming.
That's what I'm told. Let's see. Okay. We'll move on to Mount Grace Hospitals of the Unilab Group, represented by Clinton Campos Hess. He's chairman of the board there. Clinton?
Good morning. I'm Clinton Campos Hess, founder and chairman of Mount Grace Hospitals. In the past several weeks, we've seen the daily number of COVID-19 cases increase compared to the earlier part of this year. The numbers sent a clear message. The battle to contain the COVID-19 pandemic is still far from over. Sustained and coordinated response are required. We need to work together in the same direction with the same determination. Thus, the United Laboratories Group, through Mount Grace Hospitals Incorporated, is privileged to participate in the rollout of our part of the country's COVID vaccination program in solidarity with Ingat-Angat, the local government units, private hospitals, doctors, and other stakeholders. We are committing 13 vaccination teams from 11 partner hospitals for a total of 1,300 jabs per day for 30 operating days. Our vaccination sites will be located in the premises of the following Mount Grace partner hospitals: Capital Medical Center, Quezon City; Fe del Mundo Medical Center, Quezon City; Medical Center Manila; VRP Medical Center Mandaluyong; Grace Medical Center Bulacan; Divine Grace Medical Center Cavite; Mary Mediatrix Medical Center Batangas; Mother Teresa Calcutta Medical Center Pampanga; Tagaytay Medical Center Cavite; Westlake Medical Center Laguna; and Health Serve Medical Center Laguna. Our partner hospitals in the other parts of the country are likewise ready to help in the vaccination program of their respective LGUs. Hopefully, with our collaborative efforts and the wide range of COVID containment initiatives in place, we can beat this pandemic sooner so that we can enjoy what we have missed: opening our homes again, returning to a more normal work environment, and regaining the momentum of our economic growth. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Clinton. The next hospital network partner is St. Luke's Medical Center, represented by Dr. Benjo Campomanes, Chief Medical Officer.
Hi. Morning, everyone. In spite of being in the forefront of treating and saving the lives of people afflicted by COVID-19, St. Luke's Medical Center is committed to help in the country's effort to achieve vaccine herd immunity. We had opened our hospitals both in Bonifacio Global City and Quezon City to our respective LGUs to achieve their goals in vaccinating people in our community. Last April 2020, the Public-Private Task Force T3 was launched. And today, we probably should upgrade it to T4. T1 to test, T2 trace, T3 treat, and T4 to rock. So with that, I'd like to congratulate everyone for doing all of this. Congratulations and Godspeed to all of us. Hopefully we can achieve our vaccination efforts before Christmas. So thank you very much and good morning.
The next hospital network partner is Medical City, represented by Dr. Eugene Ramos, President and CEO. Doctor?
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Eugene Ramos. I'm the President and CEO of the Medical City Enterprise. Since the start of this pandemic, the Medical City, all 5 hospitals from Medical City Iloilo, Medical City South Luzon, Medical City Pangasinan and Clark, and of course Medical City Main here in Pasig, we have been directly involved in everything or anything at all concerning COVID. And so we fully understand and appreciate the need for collaboration. We are always guided by our philosophy of patient partnership. And when we talk about patient partnership, it brings us to appreciate the need to be partners with everyone, all the leaders in the communities where our hospitals are. We have been working very, very closely with the Pasig LGU here in the Main, with Mayor Vico Soto, even before the pandemic, because we understand the importance of collaboration in dealing with the health problems of the communities. So I really applaud the T3 initiative, and we commit to supporting it even as we speak. Because of the delay in the arrival of the vaccines, this Angat Yaman, this project would have started much earlier. But because we had still available vaccines, we started vaccinating starting April 26, 2021. And up to now, we are still vaccinating, and we have already accomplished the jobbing of 3,700 Pasigueños. With this program that we have, we are going to ramp it up all the way to Clark. And as soon as the program expands nationwide, then we can also involve the other hospitals, the Pangasinan, as well as South Luzon and Iloilo. We have finished 3,700 now. We commit to 9,000 jobs after all this is done. So you can see that it is something that is achievable, and if there is a need to job more beyond our commitment, I commit in behalf of the entire enterprise that we will continue to support this project. Thank you.
Thank you to all the hospital network partners. We're down to our last 2, but very important partners now, the mall site partners. And we're going to begin with Alliance Global Group, represented by CEO Kevin Tan. Kevin?
Thank you, Coco. Hello to our esteemed cabinet secretaries and government officials present, our friends from the business community, and our friends from the media. Good morning, or good afternoon, rather. First of all, I would like to commend the organizers and supporters of the Ingat Angat program, which is a very noble endeavor that our country surely needs during this very critical time. The Alliance Global Group, together with Mega World Corporation and all our sister companies, are giving 100% support and commitment to this initiative, as we believe in the power of a collective and united force in this crucial fight against COVID. in order for us to move forward to the road of recovery. Both Alliance Global and MegaWorld share a common vision of uplifting lives, impacting society, and helping shape the nation. This vision, we believe, is also parallel to the vision of the Ingat Angat program. To complement the government's vaccination program, we have also launched Agimmunity, our own group-wide free vaccination program for our 85,000 strong workforce and their families, including our stakeholders such as our frontline workers, third-party service personnel, and construction workers. Today, we are reaffirming our commitment and going beyond this effort to help the Philippine government in accelerating the distribution of vaccines to more Filipinos. In cooperation with various LGUs, we are setting up 11 vaccination centers in our lifestyle malls and townships across our properties in Metro Manila, as well as in Laguna. These vaccination centers combined can serve up to 5,000 to 6,000 people every day. Our group of companies will continue to look for ways on how we can contribute and impart our resources to help the government fulfill its target of achieving herd immunity by the end of this year. And hopefully, with much optimism, together with the rest of the business community, we see the light of recovery coming our way in the coming months. Thank you very much and have a great day ahead.
The next mall partner is SM Supermalls, represented by Stephen Tan, President. Stephen? Stephen, you're on mute. Go ahead, Stephen.
To our local and national government heads, members of the private sector, especially from the healthcare and medical community, media friends and guests, good afternoon. I'm Stephen Tan, President of SM Supermalls. I'm happy to join all of you as we formally launch the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat T3 campaign. Thanks to our partnership with DOH and the LGUs, we are proud that to date, almost 40 SM malls serve as sites for COVID-19 vaccination centers from Baguio in the north all the way down to Cagayan de Oro in Mindanao. As of May 11, 2021, over 53,000 Filipinos from our communities have been vaccinated in these locations. Just last week, we launched the Giga Vaccine Center of Pasay City at the Mall of Asia that can accommodate more than 2,000 persons a day. We are happy to provide support, a comfortable and safe venue, as well as vital backup generators needed for cold chain storage of the vaccines in case of power outages. There are many more multi-sectoral COVID response programs we are working on with all of you, and this is part of our Safe Malling campaign in our 76 SM malls for the safety of our mall patrons, tenant partners, and of course, our own employees. Many activities, but one simple mission: to help our communities recover and regain their growth. And that is why the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign is so valuable, as through this massive awareness campaign, we can contribute our marketing assets on ground and online to get to a safer and healthier country sooner. You have our full commitment to make this a complete success. This program will benefit our families and loved ones and will mean the full reopening of our restaurant, shops, and services, and ultimately the rebounding of MSME partners in particular and our economy in general. Like all of you, we certainly look forward to the day when we see you and your families Visit SM Supermalls free of masks and shields, protected, safe, happy, and healthy. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you again to all the hospital network partners, the mall site partners, and the corporate and media partners that we heard from earlier. As we come to a close, we're going to hear from the Chief Implementer and Deputy Chief Implementer of the National Task Force, Secretary Carlito Galvez and Secretary Vince Dizon. Before that, however, let me just share that the Ingat Angat Bakuna Lahat campaign is a call to unite and take part in the national vaccination program. The return to normalcy is not far from sight. It's really possible to reclaim our lives and our lifestyles in the face of this ongoing pandemic. As long as nag-iingat at may bakuna lahat, aangat tayo muli. We call out to other hospital networks and mall sites to join us in this initiative and help fast-track the country's vaccination rollout. Displayed on your screen right now are the contact details of Veron Gabaldon, Executive Director at Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation. If you're a hospital network or a hospital or a mall operator or a mall site, please get in touch with her if you would like to join this effort. With that, I'm going to turn to Secretary Carlito Galvez. He is the Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19. He comes to us via a recorded message. Should
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at ako po ay nagtuwa at tayo po ay naimbitahan dito sa launching ng Ingat Angat Bakuna sa Lahat at on behalf of the National Task Force Against COVID-19 and the vaccine cluster, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to all the organizations, companies, private hospitals, and healthcare facilities, and also particularly the T3 for coming together to spearhead this groundbreaking initiative. The President acknowledges the effort of the private sector in our collective fight to this pandemic. At kahapon nga po, kagabi, talagang tuwan-tuwa siya dahil nung nag-present po tayo, ay pinakita po natin kung ano ang ginagawa po ng private sector para magkaroon po ng magandang vaccination program ang ating gobyerno. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inform everybody about our good news. Natutuwa po tayo na talagang marami pong magandang thanks God. There are a lot of good news. Unang-una is, first is that the cases of our vaccine portfolio had been proven high. Nakita po natin na naglabas po ang Sinovac ng publication na nakita natin na napakaganda ng efficacy nito in real world dito sa mga healthcare workers ng Indonesia, na it can protect the healthcare workers up to 98% from being hospitalized and suffered fatal from the disease. At nakita po natin na talagang ang nababaksin po ay nagbigay ng kanilang release ng clinical trial at napakaganda po ng kanilang mga efficacy. At nakikita po natin na ang Israel na po ay nag-new normal. At nakita natin na talagang very effective ang vaccine against COVID-19. Dapat nga po mapahayag po natin sa buong mundo, sa buong bansa, na talaga ang vaccine ang magiging susi para completely eliminate the COVID-19 crisis we have. Nag-release din po ang Sputnik na magkakaroon po na sila ng single dose at tinatawag po ito na Sputnik Light. Ang Moderna ay maglalabas na rin po ng booster para magkaroon po ng tinatawag na longer protections ang ating antibodies laban sa COVID-19. At nakita rin po natin ang AstraZeneca using the spacing of 8 to 12 ay magiging maganda na rin po ang kanilang tinatawag na efficacy at protected na po tayo sa first dose. At sa ngayon po ay tuwan-tuwa po tayo dahil kasi ang vaccines are not coming in trickles. Ngayon, vaccines are coming in volumes. Dati, 200,000, 600,000. Ngayon po, in 2 millions. And yung pangatlo po, tuwan-tuwa po tayo dahil ang COVAX and WHO is fulfilling the commitment as global productions increases. Sa ngayon po ay nakapag-deliver na po ang COVAX ng 2,749,050 doses. At ang commitment po nila ay makapag-produce ang pagbigay po sa atin ng 44 million at 6 million to 9 million this second quarter. At napapasalamat po kami sa Gavi at WHO for fulfilling their promise. At napakaganda po ng balita ng public acceptance also growing. Marami na po tumatawag sa amin sa National Vaccine Operations Center na mga LGUs na talagang gustong-gusto nila magkaroon ng additional vaccine sa kanilang mga lugar. And then ito pa ang pinakamagandang balita na ang COVID-19 cases are decreasing in NCR. Nagsimula po tayo ng April 19 na more or less 35,000 ang ating active cases. Sa ngayon po ay tumatala lang po na 15,000 ang cases natin. Napakalaki po ng kaluwagan natin na nag-decrease po tayo ng 20,000 cases. At nagtutuwa po kami sa koordinasyon ng ginagawa ng MMDA at ang ating nagpupunyaging mga mayors na talagang halos araw-araw, gabi-gabi ay nakikita natin nagpupunyagi para at least makontain ang virus dito sa NCR. Congratulations. And then also, natutuwa po ang Presidente and he acknowledged the active participation of the private sector. We would like to thank the T3 for organizing, consolidating its effort. From the start, we have a lack of PPEs and also in ramping up testing and now putting premium on the vaccination of our citizens. And then lastly, ang maganda po ay ang LGU at ang private sector ay nag-commit to have a better Christmas this year. At ito po ang talagang natin, ang ating objective ay magkaroon tayo ng magandang Christmas na at least control na natin po at contain na po natin ang ating COVID-19 crisis. At ang maganda po ay dapat maging maganda ang ating ginagawa na katulad ng nangyari sa US, sa Indonesia at saka dito po sa Israel. Dumako naman po tayo sa update ng status ng vaccine procurement. Show here is the latest status of our COVID-19 vaccine procurement. Currently, we are already completed 5 contracts with Sinovac, Moderna, Gamaleya, Novavax, and AstraZeneca. 6 of our 7 vaccines in portfolio have been given emergency use authorization. And I would like to announce in this launching that as of this date, I have already signed the head of terms or the term sheet for our procurement for Pfizer for 40 million. At na-aprobahan po nila itong tinatawag natin ng yung head of terms at nakapagpira na po ang global po nila. At ako po ngayon at si Secretary Duque, we will sign it today. Ladies and gentlemen, as of May 14, 2021, we have a total of 7,779,050 doses of vaccines that we have received from February to date. As we begin to scale up our vaccine inventory with the consecutive deliveries of our supply, both procured and COVAX donated, a private sector-led vaccination program will provide a major boost to the government's vaccine rollout and may start in June as we open up our vaccination for A4, our economic frontliners and government and social services. At natutuwa po kami na halos araw-araw po ay may dumadating po na vaccine. This is to update you on the vaccines delivery. It is worth noting that we expect the delivery of another 2.2 million doses from Pfizer from COVAX this month. Natutuwa po kami na talaga in advance po nila yung 1.1 million na dapat pa ibibigay po sa June. This May, we are expecting a total of 7,753,450 doses from different manufacturers and also from COVAX. It will sum up to 11,779,050 doses for the the total, including our deliveries from February. With the recent deliveries as well as the remaining shipment we expect this month and in June, we're in a total of 10,050,000 doses will be delivered. This includes 4.5 million from Sinovac, 250,000 from Moderna, 1.3 million from AstraZeneca for the private sector procurement, another 2 million from Sputnik, and also another 2 million from AstraZeneca. This will bring us a total inventory of 21,829,050 doses. Let's go now to the total vaccines administered. As of May 12, a total of 2,623,093 doses have been administered to our priority groups A1, A2, and A3. We have also inoculated a total of 8,916 from the frontliners when we have the May 1 Labor Day celebration. 565,818 individuals have completed their second dose and are now fully protected, while 2,057,277 individuals have received their first dose. As you can see, we have a challenge of really administering the remaining 5,155,957 doses that has been sitting in our inventory. As of now, we have a total of 3,458 number of vaccine sites that have been activated. The Philippines remains to be one of the leading countries in the ASEAN regions in terms of vaccine rollout. Despite our relatively delayed implementation due to supply constraints, we still managed to be at par with our neighbors countries such as Cambodia and Singapore. As of now, we are ranked number 3 for ASEAN, number 41st out of 95 countries who are doing the vaccination, and ranks 15 out of 47 countries in Asia. Yesterday, I have discussed this strategy with the President, and the President acknowledged that this strategy is really the way forward. As our vaccine inventory increases, we have come up with a recalibrated deployment strategy to ensure that we achieve herd immunity in a faster and more efficient manner. With the help of the industry experts in supply chain management, we are implementing a focused and expanded strategy where bulk of our vaccine supply will be dedicated to the centers of gravity or those cities or regions with the highest attack rates and highest number of active cases, and most at risk in terms of social and economic factors. After the centers of gravity, we have identified expansion areas that are high risk or are exhibiting increase in cases based on the number of active cases and new cases. In this way, we will be able to contain the virus at the centers of gravity and areas that have high threats. Our goal for 2021 is to have a better Christmas for all Filipinos. This is a challenge, to be able to go back to the work, meet our family and friends, and somehow bring back a sense of normalcy to everyone. We can do this by enforcing our focus and expanded strategy and following our priority groups. In this way, we will be able to achieve herd containment where 25 million to 50 million individuals have been inoculated before September 21. This population comprises of our healthcare workers, senior citizens, and persons with comorbidities. We can only achieve herd containment when we have successfully and completely protected those people that have the burden of disease and burden of death. Herd immunity will be achieved once we were able to inoculate 58 million to 70 million Filipinos. We are confident that with the recalibrated strategy, we will achieve this as early as November this year. In 2022, we will implement our pandemic exit strategy and work on inoculating the remaining population, including children, subject to available vaccine development. To ramp up our inoculation campaign, we are implementing the simultaneous vaccination of priority areas, Group A1 to A3. This may As we scale up our vaccine supply and increase our inventory and increase our capacity, we will include priority groups A4 and A5 in time to the delivery of private sector procured doses. By August, as bulk of our supplies will begin to arrive aplenty, we will open the vaccination to the general population. During this time, we will activate more vaccination sites and open up massive vaccination centers to ensure the immediate use of all vaccine doses at hand. To end my presentation, I would just like to emphasize that it is the desire of the Duterte administration to vaccinate all Filipinos for free. This is with the belief that no one is safe until everyone is safe. As the President said, walang maiiwan, walang iwanan. And the private sector is very crucial for us to achieve this mission. At maraming salamat po sa ating mga kababayan at ang ating private sector. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtulong dito pag ating pagpupunyang laban sa COVID-19. Maraming salamat po and congratulations sa our launching.
For our closing remarks, let me call on the Deputy Chief Implementer for the National Task Force Against COVID-19, Secretary Vince Dizon. Secretary Vince.
Thank you very much, Coco. To all our private sector partners who have painstakingly worked so much this past year to help the entire government and the entire country get out of this pandemic and all the challenges that it has brought us. Thank you very much for all your help. Now, as Secretary Dairit said earlier, that we are hopefully at the tail end of this battle as we start vaccinating more and more Filipinos. We again would like to thank everybody from the private sector who has joined us in this fight. We cannot overemphasize the importance of the private sector and its help throughout this battle. Last year, when the government was struggling in the response with the lack of testing facilities, with the lack of isolation facilities, the private sector came in wholeheartedly and put in all the efforts and all the resources to help the government in this very, very challenging fight that we have never gone throughout our history. And it has paid dividends. Working together has really shown that this is the only way to triumphantly get out of this pandemic. And now that we are in this final phase of vaccinating millions of Filipinos, the private sector has again stepped up and offered all of its resources to help the government in this fight. So now, as Secretary Galvez pointed out, we are all hoping to meet our targets for a happier Christmas, especially in the key areas of our economy, in the NCR, in the provinces surrounding NCR, as well as Metro Cebu and Metro Davao and all the other key cities. And we are confident that with private sector's help, we will be able to achieve these targets. Secretary Galvez has given us great news that the supply has finally come and will continually come in the next months. And now it's up to us, together with the private sector, to make sure that these vaccines are deployed in the fastest manner possible and to achieve the greatest coverage throughout the key areas of our economy and the country. We also need to realize that a major challenge in vaccination is demand. And vaccine hesitancy still hounds us as it continuously hounds the entire world. And thank you very much to Margot Torres and the team who have developed a very emotional, very strong, and very poignant communications program to convince everyone that we need to get vaccinated. And again, thank you very much to everyone who is here, especially also to our hospitals who have volunteered their services, despite the very difficult tasks that they have to do on a day-to-day basis as we still continue to battle the cases that are still in front of us. So again, thank you very much on behalf of the National Task Force, the IATF, on behalf of President Rodrigo Duterte, thank you very much to the private sector and also to our media partners who have joined us in making sure that we all celebrate a happier Christmas in 2021. Ingat-angat, bakuna lahat. This is our battle cry. And together, working together, we feel and we are confident that this will happen within 2021. Maraming salamat po, and God bless us all. Stay safe.
Thank you very much, Secretary Vince. Before we move on to the press conference, allow me to thank all the corporate partners, the media partners, the hospital partners, and other partners in the project for joining us today, for the time you've spent with us and the ideas you've shared, and also everybody else who attended to listen to the message today. This has been a very enlightening and inspiring occasion, not just for the business community, but also for the public at large who are looking forward to enjoying once again the beloved activities they've done in the past. You can take part in the initiative by following the Ingat Angat Facebook page. I think you'll see that on your screen right now, and the website, or by joining the Viber community. Again, for everybody else, before we go to the press conference, for everybody else who attended today and participated, thank you very much. Ipagpatuloy ang ating pag-ingat at lahat tayo ay muling angat kung may bakuna lahat. Please enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. To our friends from the media, please stay for the Q&A with our panelists, Secretary Vince Dizon, Dr. Manuel Dairit, Bill Luz, and Margot Torres. We'll start the press conference shortly. Everybody else, thank you very much. Have a good day.